Good afternoon, Lucille. You enjoying this nice weather too? I know you are. Your big old tail's beating up that thing. Oh, does that feel good? I bet that feels good. Hey guys, welcome back. Nothing special today, but it's a beautiful, what actually feels like a fall afternoon for a change. And we're gonna try to take advantage of that. Get interrupted by Petey. And we're gonna go try to do a little bit of garden cleanup. Because, well, we need to. Our garden's been done for a little while, but we gotta get some things cleaned up. The greenhouse still needs to be cleaned up because I let a lot of grass and weeds grow in it. We still got a lot of fence posts to pull out of the garden where we staked up everything. And yeah, we gotta get everything ready to close it all down. That way it's nice and clean and prepared for the next spring. I do have one more thing growing in here though. That's what's left over of some bell peppers. And I don't think we're going to try to grow anything over the fall. So what's there is what's there. Now take a look at these. Even though the growing season's over, the garden hasn't given up just yet. Better late than never. I've actually also got a couple tomato plants over here that haven't quite given up yet, although I gave up on them. Man, now that we got a little bit of rain, mosquitoes are getting relentless again. I was really hoping they were gone by now. We're in the upper 70s today, so it's a fairly cool day for here. All right, guys, well, so much for me getting very much done. Duty calls. My job has called me for some after hours work for a little minor IT emergency. So with us getting late in the year, starting to lose daylight in the evenings already, and we're inching ever closer to the dreaded daylight savings time. So I'm gonna run in and take care of that. But before I do, I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what I'm trying to accomplish for the garden. And then of course I'll probably end up finishing this up tomorrow. Yeah, I've got to get kind of all that stuff picked up, get the water lines picked up, and that's not even including all the greenhouse stuff I need to do. But once I get all of those things up, I need to bring the bush hog or the lawnmower through here and kind of knock everything down, and then decide if I'm gonna turn the ground or not, and what I'm gonna do this fall for the chickens, if anything. And then the other thing I want to do is get the greenhouse cleaned up because it got blown around by the storms, and I also haven't done a good job of just keeping it clean. And so we're going to get all of this sort of organized and cleaned up so that maybe, just maybe, I can finish this floor now that it's starting to cool off in here, and we can stop having grass and stuff grow up. But one thing at a time. Either way, that is why I say you got to be ready and willing and able to just pivot and do what's got to be done. and be flexible with things because plans change. I was really hoping to at least have all the fence posts out and the weed barrier up this afternoon. But probably gonna need the tractor, or rather prefer to use the tractor to get out the big T-post anyways. So I don't know, maybe it's not all bad. Either way, I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit if I get back to it today. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow. All right guys, I'm back. It's actually a little bit of a false alarm. Still had to do a little fixing, but nothing too bad. And it gave me a chance to get my gloves. All right, so question for you guys that have watched at least the last couple videos of mine. I've been messing with, a lot of the visual, but also the audio. And I was testing a mic that was giving me a lot of feedback, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So I'm trying a different mic setup. You probably can tell, a little lapel mic. So if you don't mind giving me some feedback, does it sound better or worse? I know I'm not getting like the static, or at least it doesn't seem like, but I'm trying to figure out what audio quality works and what sounds good to you guys. Something else I just remembered on the really long list of things I need to do, which I should probably write down. The sun's blinding me. Try this again. Over here. I've got several of these willow trees that were left over, the little cuttings, and I'm gonna try to plant these in the fall and see if they do better, because the ones I planted in the spring did not, and mostly because we just had a lot of drought this year. So I have a few more. Maybe these guys will do something. This is one of those things that I never cleaned up. This whole greenhouse is just a mess. I've been trying to figure out what to do about here and light. I mean, I kind of like the convenience of where it's at, because right off the side of the porch I can just dump stuff in it, but it gets insane amounts of weeds and stuff growing in it. And so I got to thinking, like, the greenhouse, the whole idea, especially during the winter, try to help keep it warm. And if you compost right, it gets warm. So why not just compost in the greenhouse? So I don't know that that's a permanent long-term thing, but maybe. I'm thinking I'll just start composting in this raised bed. Because why not? Legitimate question. Why not? Like, I'm sure I'm not the first person to think of that. It seems like a good idea, and I'll probably go do a little research on it later and confirm or deny that. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Like, seems like a good idea to me. All right, so admittedly I've gotten a little bit distracted cleaning in the greenhouse as opposed to out there, when I really should be, because it's kind of warm in here. Let's see. It's 96 in here in the afternoon with the shade cloth and the door open and the fan running, so it's still doing its job. The good news is the cleanup isn't going to be as bad as it sort of seems on the surface, despite me kind of just letting it go. There is one more thing I really wanted to show you guys before it gets too dark, and it's one of the reasons why I can never seem to get anything done. Oh yeah, and the grass finally started growing, so I got to do that again. I'm not complaining. I'm glad we got rain. All right, so This little building out here that I use heavily in the winter. I don't use it a lot during the summer. I end up using it longer this year than I expected just because we had the pigs up here longer. What's up, Petey? Ain't you a pretty bird? All right. I'm sorry, I keep calling him Petey. He's Jack. And Petey's the loud one. Sorry, Jack. I'm coming in though. What's up, ladies? How we doing? I know. I'm out here unusual time today. So this blue building has sort of 3 sections to it, maybe 4. We've got this little lean-to piece here. Nothing wrong with that. The chickens just go in there when it's raining. Sometimes I'll put their food under there, or their dust baths. What's up, Lucille? What's up, girl? Oh no, I got stuck. What's up, girl? What's up, girl? All right. All right. The second part is this little room here, which, yeah, you're not really gonna be able to see much, even with the light on, I don't think. But it's not much to this room. It's just a small little closet. It's got the breaker panel in it. And I usually store some feed in here parts of the year, bedding and stuff like that. And then the main part we use, which is this big open part. Sorry again, in the dark, guys, it's getting a little late, so I'm going to see real well. This is where the fence chargers are, and where all the animals tend to go that are staying up here, whether it's the pigs or sometimes it's Lucille. I also do a little bit of hay or straw storage up in there. There's like a little loft area. But again, that's not really the issue. And I'm coming to realize that I don't know if you guys are gonna actually be able to see it or not. But it's this section down here on this end, this big open room here. It also has a little bit of a loft area in it. But it's got a plywood floor, and it's just a little platform that was built up on some bricks out on this side. Now, the problem with this room is that it's been leaking since we bought it from the roof. And I've been meaning to get up there and fix that, but I noticed there was already some rot damage, so I knew I was gonna have to redo this floor at some point. But you might be able to see through the back there that there's light coming through. And that's because the floor has rotted out. Maybe you can see a little better there. But the floor is rotted out, and the way that this was framed up, well, frankly, doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because it looks like they just set some 2x4s in a square on some bricks, and then just started standing 2x4s up on it instead of framing out like a true wall. So there's no corner posts. The rafters are sort of just butt jointed in. And I honestly think that that's all that's carrying most of the weight of this little shed, keeping the walls from wanting to come down. So there's not a lot of weight here, but I am afraid that if it gets much snow load on it, that it's going to collapse it, because again, there's really nothing holding it up other than rotted plywood. So sorry guys, I know that was a little bit hard to see, but this is something I just now really noticed, and I've got to do something about it because I don't want this side of my building collapsing. And because of the way it was built, I've got to try to figure out, excuse me, I've got to try and figure out if I can salvage this without having to tear it down, and get that floor in there. So maybe I can prop up some sections of it and then do it, but either way, this is now one of my higher priority projects because I'm not sure how long it'll stand. So stay tuned for that one. We'll let you guys know how it goes. All right, well, that's about all I'm gonna get done of that. it's about time for chores. So guess we're gonna go load up the food and water and take care of the animals, go check on the pigs. And the chickens are wondering why I didn't bring them more food, so. Hey, pigs. How we doing, guys? What's up, little pigs? How we doing, Molly? How we doing, guys? Hello, my favoriteest little pig. They've been doing really well. The new pig net. No escapes. Net's all looking really good. Hey, pigs. How we doing, Henry? How we doing, buddy? You doing good staying up. Appreciate it. How about you guys? How we doing? Oh, the mosquitoes are bad again. I'll get a little bit more than that. This bag was almost empty. All right, these guys are doing good. All the big pigs, I pretty much have two groups, big pigs and little pigs. Big pigs, which are with Henry. Little pigs back over here, which are with Molly. Yeah, two different groups. They're all doing good right now. They've been settled in since their move. No one's given me any trouble, thankfully. Those guys, they'll go for weeks at a time, no trouble at all, and then all of a sudden it'll just be back to back. So I'm just happy for the calm. This is the part that is always impossible to do with one hand, but we're gonna try it again. All right, I need to be a little bit taller and my shoulders need to be a lot stronger. Hey, I forgot I left the gate unchained earlier. Go me. All right, tell you what. Who would have guessed, bud? All right, I'm gonna put you guys up here while I do my thing. Oh, spider webs. These guys are about due to get some more bedding again. All right, not a bad haul. Let's go see if they need any food today. I think I fed them yesterday, so the bucket usually holds 2 days. They do need some food, but I don't think I brought any. All right, well, I'll come back out and see you guys in the morning. Y'all got enough for the rest of tonight. Petey, you saying goodnight? There it is. All right. Let's hurry and get this back to the house. I've got to get dinner. Okay, I walked through a spider web somewhere. It's all over me and I hate it. You want to say goodnight, Lucille? You want to say goodnight? Say goodnight. Thanks for watching. See you next time.